It's been 4 weeks since you called.
Hey dolls, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michawn and I do weekly DIYs, hauls, and other fun things. If you're not new, hey doll, hey.
I hope it's not too late.
So today's video I am super excited about. It is the first I've ever done something like this. I am sharing with you a 3-tiered tray and some items that would go in it. So I do a lot of like signs and larger like crafts on my channel, but this time I thought I would change it up a bit and do a lot of smaller decor pieces. I'm super excited about it. I had a lot of fun doing it and I absolutely love the tiered tray and the items that go within it. And to be honest, everything that I made fits inside the tiered tray perfectly. I only added a couple other items that I already had on hand, but I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys get some great inspiration for it. I really hope you guys do enjoy this. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new, I would love if you would consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you're notified every time that I upload. All right, dolls, let's jump right in. Okay, so starting off, we're gonna make the tiered tray, and I'm using 3 different sizes of trays. The first one with the florals I got from Dollar Tree. The other 2 I got around Easter time at my local grocery store, Kroger, and they were only 59 cents. So I picked up all the ones that they had left over. And then for my the holders or whatever, I'm not using wood, I'm using these glass vases from Dollar Tree. I got them around summertime, which is why they have the seashells on them. And then I'm using a combination of E6000 and hot glue. The first vase I'm going to put on that bottom a tray is going to be right side up, and then I'm going to put E6000 and glue on the rim of that, and then put the second tray there. I tried to make it as even as possible as I possibly could. And then I'm taking the second vase and putting that upside down on the second vase using a combination of E6000 and hot glue once again, and then repeating that step over to put the last tray on top. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this heirloom white spray paint from Rust-Oleum and I gave it about 3 coats of paint, and it took I gave it 2 days to dry up and set up. Now I'm going to use an assortment of wood little trinkets for my tiered tray. The first thing I took was this house garland from Target's Dollar Spot. It was $3. I got it around Christmas time, and I'm going to make a beaded tassel with it on the end. And I'm taking my 20mm beads, putting them in a Ziploc bag, as well as some white paint, acrylic paint. Now I saw this from Fanny over at Creations by Favi. I saw her do this and I thought it was genius because I hate painting these beads. When you spray paint them, all sides don't get covered. When you paint them with a paintbrush, your fingers get all crazy looking. So I thought this was great. But what happened with mine is when they dried, they were kind of clunky on certain ends. So I just sanded it down and gave it more of a rustic look. And then now I'm fishing through my jute cord through all of the beads. And the easiest way to do this is to put a piece of tape, scotch, or whatever tape you have on the end so they can go through. And then I'm taking that house that I did nothing to and fishing the jute cord through that as well. And then positioning my beads the way I want for the length, tying that off, and then putting a dab of hot glue on the end after I cut it off just to secure it in place. And then I'm taking this home rub-on transfer. I'll show you the page in a second, but Dollar Tree has these rub-on transfers where they just have a bunch of words on them. And so I just cut that off and then put that on there. And I think this is super, super cute. I absolutely love this. So I set that aside after I did a tassel on the end, and I'm working on the rest of my wood crafts. So I'm taking the shadow box that says life is meant to be lived, and I unscrewed the label holder. I thought this was actual just a sheet of paper underneath here or glued on, but it's infused in. So I used my heat gun to pull it up. I got it up as best as I could. I mean, it wasn't the greatest of jobs. So I just sanded down the rest the best that I could. And I mean, it gave me a smooth feel to it. It was pretty flush to the, box or whatever. Then I'm using my chalk paint and ink and giving this 2 coats of that color all the way around, as well as the sides. And then I thought it would be fun, since this is a shadow box, to do a 2-sided one. So I'm painting the inside using some white acrylic paint, and I'm also going to paint that label, like that metal label holder, white as well.
I want you back here with me. We never should have said it's better this way. I'd rather be with you than someone I don't know. Now it's like we're living.
This is how everything looks once it is completely painted and dried. Then I'm going to sand down the edges on this shadow box, just to give it a little bit more depth and make it look more rustic. So these are the rub-on transfer sheets that I'm using for everything in this video. And I just cut off and cut out, the floral greenery pieces, the phrases, the words, all that. So inside of this one, I chose Embrace Happiness, and rub-on transfers are all the same. You just put them where you want, rub them on with your finger or a card or whatever, and take the film off. I did an oopsie on this one because my paint kind of came up. I'm having a problem with like paint coming up off of stuff, right? Do I not let it dry? What is going on, Amber? I don't know. Anyways, so I thought I'd just embrace the oopsie and just go with it. So I took my Cricut weeder and just started, scratching away. And then I am using this calendar from Dollar Tree. It's called A New Day. It has biblical scriptures in it. So I chose the large one on the back of this calendar. That was the only one that would fit all the way around. And the scripture says, I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. And I love it. And so, yeah, I put the label holder back in and screwed it back in. And I actually ended up distressing this as well with some more of that ink chalk paint, just to get it a little bit more flush with the black. So it wasn't just so stark like black and then white. And, you know what I mean, right? It looks way more farmhouse. For my next wood piece, I'm taking these small circular rounds that I got from Walmart. 5 come in a pack for 98 cents. And I painted 2 of them white. Then I'm using the phrase, welcome friends and welcome friends and share happiness. Share kindness? No. And then I'm using the phrase, welcome friends and share kindness, along with some little floral pieces, and just rubbing those on and then taking those off. Then after that, I use some of my twine, wrap that around the top of the circular pieces. You kind of have to put hot glue a little bit of every ways, especially like on the curved parts, because they will come up because it's, just not straight for it to lay down on. So I just kind of had to keep using a little bit of hot glue every now and again. And I wrapped it around about 5 or 6 times, cut that down. And yeah, that's all for that one. And then actually after that, I did distress these with some ink chalk paint. I just didn't have the footage of it, but this is what they look like. And I think they're super adorable. Next, I'm taking this crate from Dollar Tree. And actually, I got inspired by Kristen Kay. She did this around Christmas time, where she used this crate and made it look like a stack of books. So I thought that was genius and definitely wanted to try that. And I thought it would be perfect for a tiered tray. So I'm using these words, cherish family forever. And I just think that it's so important, especially in these times, to cherish your family and friends and the time that you get with them. So again, rub on transfer, same thing, rub them on, peel off the film. Then next, I took some of my jute and I am hot gluing that on the inside of the opposite side of where the words are. And then I'm wrapping that around and then cutting that down and then hot gluing it on the other side. Now, when I first did this, I actually just wrapped it around, but when I stood it up, it was kind of lopsided. So it's still a little bit lopsided, but not as bad when you just kind of wrap it around. So I would recommend just kind of cutting some pieces down and just like wrapping it that way. But yeah, super cute. I really like it. I didn't do any distressing on this because I think it's so pretty as is. Next, I took this little shadow box sign. I got this actually from Hobby Lobby. It was $1. I painted that using some antique wax, and then I painted the sides white. And now I'm doing a little bit more distressing with just sanding down all sides of this. Then I'm using these self-adhesive stencils that Dollar Tree has, and they're super easy to use. Of course, I used antique wax, so it's not going to stick on here, but it will if you use chalk or acrylic paint. It'll stick on that kind of surface. And then I just used a stipple brush that I got from Dollar Tree and stippled it in this phrase, do what you love what you do. And I think that that is so poignant, especially, again, in the times that we are in. We have no time to waste, and you got to keep doing what you love to stay happy, right? And that's all for this one. I kept it as is. Now I'm going to move on to like a bunch of like glass, like vase little like things. So I took this little vase, I think it's called a bud vase from Dollar Tree. I'm painting that using my hazelnut color. And I absolutely love this color on this vase. I have a couple more, so I'll probably do more and just leave it like this. But I'm going for a farmhouse look, so I needed to just stress it a little bit more. So I'm using my white chalk paint and just distressing just a little bit. I thought I just wanted to go on like the edges and the ends of it and like the lip around it. But I just went for it, y'all, and went all the way around. And I absolutely love how it turned out. I put a little bit of greenery inside. I think it was lamb's ear that I put inside. And I just think this is adorable. I love the color combination of this. Next, I took this other like candle holder thingy. I think it's a tea light holder. And it says homemade on the front. And I used my plaster chalk paint and gave that 2 coats. I gave everything 2 coats of paint. And then after that, I went ahead and distressed that with some ink chalk paint. And I just did the distressing all around. I wasn't too light with this. I was actually pretty heavy with this because I knew that I wanted this to look super, super farmhouse. And you guys, if you have not used this plaster chalk paint color, I recommend doing it. I love it because it's like in between ivory and white. It's just a really bold, pretty color. And then I just screwed back on the top after I was done, and there we have that. Next, I have this like iridescent vase from Dollar Tree. I painted that using my white chalk paint. I gave that 2 coats as well. And then I thought I was going to distress this with my ink, and I did not like it. It was not giving me the feels, you guys. So I set it aside, thought about it, came back and just sanded down where like the leaves were, because this is like stamped with like leaves or whatever. And I love how this turned out. To add a little bit more dimension to it, I wrapped some jute around the neck of the bottle and just adhered it with some hot glue, and I love it. Next, I have this like mini milk, like, what is this, jar, can, whatever. Dollar Tree had them a while ago. They sometimes have them or whatnot. I don't know. I painted that using plaster, again, doing 2 coats. Absolutely love this. I've been trying to figure out what to do with the mini that I have of these. And then I used my rub-on transfers again to spell out fresh milk. Super easy, super simple. I love this one. Then I used my ink chalk paint again and gave this some distressing all around. You guys, this one and that homemade like tea light candle holder give me all of the farmhouse feels. And I'm super excited about where my farmhouse like decor is going, because these are beautiful. Next, I took this succulent and I took the succulent out, obviously, and then I painted the terracotta pot white. And I just did 1 coat of that. And then I think I distressed the bottom and the top of it. But I don't really like this one that much. But I just wanted to change out the terracotta color and just do white. So yeah. This one is not my favorite, but you guys let me know if you like it. I took this bud vase from Target's Dollar Spot. It was only $1. And I just kind of gave that some distressing ink. And I mean, it's okay. You let me know. Anyways, then I have this and symbol from Dollar Tree, and I painted that using my ink chalk paint, and I distressed that with some white chalk paint.
2 separate worlds, come on back to me. Say that you won't go. I can't cope without you, and I wanna hold
Then after all of my little decor pieces were complete and my 3-tier tray was dry and sturdy, I went ahead and started to paint it. So I thought I wanted to do a little distressing on here, but I really love the look of just finished, kind of enameled tier tray. So I just took that and kind of combined it. So all I'm doing is painting the rims, because all of my trays have like little lips on the end, and I'm just painting that using my ink chalk paint. And I absolutely love how this came out. I think it's so elegant, it's so classy, but it gives me all the farmhouse feels that doesn't make it feel like everything is just, it's like overly distressed, right? But I absolutely love this. This is how everything looks styled, and I think it is just gorgeous. You guys know I love my boxwood greenery, so I feel like just adding that, those little touches and some cotton, I just think this is adorable. You guys let me know how you like this. If you would have styled it this way, what kind of way you would have styled it. Do you like all that distressing or not? Let me know. I would love to know. But I think this is so farmhouse, so adorable, and it gives me all of your everyday farmhouse feels. All right, dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new, I'd love if you would consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you're notified every time I upload. But yeah, all right, dolls, stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.